Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope you're all having a good day so far. Thank you, everyone here early, live for the pre-show. Jump in the chat wherever you're watching. Say hello. We'll give you a little shout out. And yeah, away we go. Lucy Anders, Q-Boys, Lino Vincent. Good to see you guys over on D Live, hanging out in the mosh pit. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to Liberty's Great Awakening and Joe Elaine hanging out over on Rumble. Hit that thumbs up button for me if you haven't already done so. Coming on into the Rumble chat. Shout out to the Cloud Hub, YouTube, D Live, and Twitter audiences out there. Hope you're all having an awesome Friday as well. And of course, shout out to all of you guys watching in the comfy bunker on pill.net, the exclusive place to watch hour number 2 of our broadcast today. And yeah, the true home of free speech online. So get on over there if you haven't already checked it out. If you are watching on Pill, be sure to hit that red pill button and repost the show on your way in the door. Let's see who's all over there. Delia down in Arizona checking in first. Great to see you, Delia. Floyd, due diligence in the house as well. Good to see you, my friend. Lightspear, what's up? Good to see you, Lance. Sturgis 55. Oh my goodness, kicking us off with a fleet long before we ever went live. So it's one of my favorite shows. Hello, 412 and Patriots. Thank you so much for the generosity. That's a hell of a way to kick off a Friday right there. Floyd, due diligence with the fajita. Thank God it's Friday cookie. Delicious. I go for fajita right about now. I have not eaten anything yet today. I am very, very hungry. So I'm looking forward to wrapping up the show and digging into something. What, I don't know yet, but I'm going to eat like a pig as soon as we go offline here. Patriot 714, good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Of course, Joe Elaine keeping the pill chat super comfy. Thank you again, Joe, for all your hard work. HL Paco, good to see you out there. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. And let's see, Lyle and Jenny checking in. Packers 412. Good to see you all out there. Ken Chris, welcome. Good to see you. Season Pixels checking into the chat. I believe he'll be joining us on the panel today, which very excited to get Pixels up here. Our Harold, welcome. Good to see you. Truth Teller 101. Barb Robbins out there, my man. 2A Freedom Rider repping the 412. Let's go to A. Welcome, 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 everybody. Range Pony, what's going on? D Patriot, say hi to D Lurker for us. Great to see you. Fazic and Tweety 52, Jenker 2. What's up, guys? Roy, Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. Yes, our government does suck. Something awful, doesn't it? Laura Y, repping the 412 as well. Let's go, Laura. Welcome. Good to see you. We got 123 SKG checking in, hooking us up with some gold pill love. Thank you for the cookie, my friend. Mountain Lace, D Richard. What's up, guys? Good to see you both. And good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Glass Wanda in the house. I see Dangleberry out there. Plain Truth checking in. Floyd says it's all OT today. Oh, that's awesome. Make that time and a half, dude. Hell yeah. Joe Patriot, and thank you for the cookie, buddy. Joe Patriot in the house. What's going on, Poonslayer? And Skeeter 20. What's going on, Skeeter? Princess Kate Middleton has cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. I could give literally zero fucks about the royal family. Like, can you give negative fucks about something? How do you give negative fucks about a topic? Because that's where I stand with the royal family. I'm sorry to hear that she has cancer. I don't wish that on anybody, not even, the people I think are the worst. But at the same time, as soon as I'm done making this statement or reading your comment, I will not give Kate Middleton even one more bit of thought in my brain, because, again, I could give zero fucks about the royal family. Negative fucks given. The Steel Monkey, welcome. Pissed Patriot in the house. Wood Geek, good to see you. Subpack Vet, good to see you as well. Oilman 94 in the house. What's up, brother? It is great to see you. I hope you're having an awesome day. Russian Bot and OG, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Reclaim the Law, another OG. It was great catching up with you the other day, man. Great to see you in the chat, hanging out with us. Secret Weapon, welcome. Mr. Jar says, I give -5 fucks about the Royals. I agree. Yeah, I just absolutely could care less. Absolutely could care could care less about the royal family. Wow, OT for the first 8 hours and double time for any after that. That's amazing. I hope you rack it up today, man. Good for you. Mad Joker, welcome. Susie QAnon says lost 412. I lost you, you lost me. I lost what is lost? I'm so confused, Susie. I hope all is well. It's good to see you out there. 315 Russ says happy Friday to my Foxhole family. Thank you for the cookie. Ohio Kimmy says the royal who? Exactly. Aurelius Locke, good to see you. Abe from PA, good to see you as well. Delia says she had cancer that was removed, having preventative chemo. I had the same thing 19 years ago. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Delia, and I hope for what it's worth that Kate Middleton or whoever does well too. But then again, could really, again, don't wish any harm, and I wish her the best, but could not, like, there's just too much going on right now. I could just not give a fuck about the royal family. Thirst for knowledge, Lizzie B, good to see you guys. Sean Joe, thank you for the cookie. Jeff Den in the house, welcome. Point was media frenzy on any item like Middleton cancer. Yeah, everyone's gonna go nuts because people go retarded for any kind of celebrity gossip or news or whatever, when the royal family, Kate Middleton, holds absolutely zero significance in the minds or in the lives of 99.999% of people in this country. Yet, I don't know. It's already all over my Twitter page. Like, you scroll and you see the same stupid fucking video reposted by a million different people. It's like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Why give these people any attention? What is Kate Middleton going to do that is going to significantly impact anything of value? Boys Blog, thank you for the cookie. CK Whitehorse 180, good to see you. Big Willie, welcome. Eagle Freedom. All right, I'm repeating some of these. Let's get this show started. We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MSM, and now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the two state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult hero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, and patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system to the roles they're assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only incentivized to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone, but not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
All right, it is Friday. We are wrapping up the week with another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adol Nero. It is March 22nd, 2024. We are officially into the springtime. The sun is shining, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the nice weather. I've got my good friend Seasoned Pixels hanging out with me today. TN Homesteader is out. Drunk Pinata should be joining us shortly. So Pixel is a perfect day for you to pop in and hang out on the panel. How's everything been, man? I feel like it's been way too long since we've talked, especially on air.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a chance to get on here. It's been busy. The news has been just wild. Like I was just telling Adol, last night I was live for almost 6 hours. I covered 61 pieces, and afterwards, I've never felt that way after a show. Like just completely drained, but also feeling like really happy and accomplished. So, looking forward to tonight's show. I've got a healthy 30, so we'll try and keep it at that level. But
only 30?
Only 30 today.
What are you doing, man? The show's going good. Everything's going good. I don't know, of 60 stories, after 2 hours, man, I could barely make thoughts anymore. I don't know how you do a marathon like that for 6 hours. That's wild. I think the longest stream I've ever done is about 3 hours, and by the end of it, I'm cooked. So I give you credit. That's impressive.
I think my previous record was about 5, so definitely broke a record last night. And in a few ways, actually, I also broke the Red Pill record. Shout out to the Pilled fan.
Well, I hope so. You're on there for 6 hours, so
it took like all 6 hours too. Like right before we stopped the show, that's when it hit 140, which was what I was aiming for. So
that's awesome, though. Congratulations on the record-setting stream, and yeah, glad you have a little bit of a lighter load for tonight. Hopefully, you actually can do a little something with your Friday night. All right. It was an awesome show last night on Seasoned Pixels, says Joe Elaine. Joe, did you stay for all 6 hours? Were you in there for 6 hours straight?
She did. It was pretty impressive.
That's crazy. Well, you got some dedicated fans out there, man, hanging out with you for 6 hours. That's pretty cool. I don't think anyone would listen to me for 6 hours. Hell, I don't even want to listen to me for the 2 hours I'm on air.
It was a fun time, for sure. It was like I said, never done a stream like that before, so it went well, and I was happy to do it.
Very cool, man. I see Drunk Pinata jumping on in here. Happy Friday, Pinata. How's your day going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I saw you were doing your show earlier. How was it?
Pretty good. So most of yesterday, they're kind of gleefully, wringing their hands and kind of doing the meme about seizing Trump's properties. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have the money." And so the news spin today is, well, he may have lied to the court that he didn't have enough money. No, what he said was that they went to 30 companies and 30 entities, and they could not secure a bond of that size. One, a singular bond of that size. That's what they said, and that's what Trump's lawyers said.
Mhm.
They didn't say they didn't have the money. They said that they wouldn't undertake it. And so, but the new spin is that, oh, well, now he's contradicting what his lawyer says. No, again, it's one of those things. They have to, two things can be true at the same time, and they know that their own base can't handle that because their minds would freaking explode with just potentially exciting their minds enough to rub two brain cells together, and I know that might just kill them. So they have to make sure that they can't have contradictory thoughts or simultaneous concurrent thoughts. So that's seems to be what the biggest story of today and the biggest spin as far as that's concerned, is that they were running all these packages about video packages of this different states that they could get. Another one was that you had these people on CNN say that Trump could probably sell Mar-a-Lago for like 2.5 or $250 million and probably get a buyer pretty quickly. Not even mentioning that Engeron said it was only worth 18 million.
Yeah, I have that clip in the stack of stuff today, which is hysterical to me that they would even say that after all of that. Yeah, let's watch that clip. Hold on, I have it here. Here we go.
And
This
then
is
also in the same day, they're also reporting about how Truth Social and the DWAC merger is probably going public, and they're having to explain that he's about to potentially have another 3 billion inserted into his wealth. So all on the same day. So
yeah,
I think what we saw here was a little bit of trolling from Trump as far as we may not be able to secure this bond, and I think it was definitely purposeful in the wording. And like I just said, because that's what they're seeming to be attacking, is that he said they couldn't secure one. What he said was that they couldn't secure one of that size because it's never been done before, but from a
right.
single entity. And so then the court came back and said, well, you can spread it around against others. There hasn't been another filing since, or they haven't. Trump's lawyers haven't responded to that. If I'm not mistaken, they haven't. So and then Trump comes out and says, "Yeah, I was hoping to use this for campaign, set this aside for campaign." So he had the money, he just had it compartmentalized internally for
Yeah,
different purposes.
it's always funny to watch him troll and mislead these idiots and have them kind of walk themselves off the ledge. Um, there you go. Trump says he has 500 million cash as bond deadline looms. So former President Donald Trump posted on Truth social media on March 22nd that through hard work, talent, and luck, I currently have almost $500 million in cash. This comes as the former president needs to put upwards of $454 million to stay judgment in a civil fraud case while he appeals to effectively hold off the New York Attorney General from potentially seizing his buildings during the appeal. President Trump posted that he had intended to use a substantial amount of his money in his presidential campaign before blasting the judge and attorney general on the civil fraud case. Quote, the often overturned political hack judge on the rigged and corrupt AG case, where I've done nothing wrong, knew this, wanted to take it away from me, President Trump wrote. That's where and why he came up with the shocking number, which coupled with this crazy interest demand is approximately $454 million. He continued. The judgment total was $363 million, but breaks down with about $355 million of that specifically applying to President Trump, $4 million to be recovered from Eric Trump, $4 million to be recovered from Donald Trump Jr., and $1 million to be recovered from former Trump Organization finance chief Alan Weisselberg. With the applied 9% interest, court filings say the bond comes out to more than $464 million, with a little more than $10 million of that attributed to judgment on Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Mr. Weisselberg. Judgment was entered on February 23rd, kicking off a 30-day clock to post the massive sum set to expire on March 25th. President Trump in the post decried the ruling as an example of communism in America. And it gets into some more information about the bond and the cash and whatnot. I think that pretty much sums it up though. he's going to be able to pay this and appeal and stay the ruling through the appeals process, which is good news. But then here are the people on CNN talking about, this is before he announced he had the money, but talking about his options, and it is unreal, as Benny Johnson says.
You need at least 30 days to get any of these properties sold. But the property that you alluded to, Mar-a-Lago, potentially that could be something that could be sold quickly. I think the valuation is something in the hundreds of millions, and I think there could be a buyer for something like that.
And that would be literally, if you're talking about doing that between now and Monday, that's picking up the phone, calling someone, and then literally writing a check.
Yeah, I mean, there could be plenty of international people who want to buy that property. I mean, there's properties that are priced at 150 and 200 million that are nearby that. And Palm Beach is like the NVIDIA, of real estate. It's just shot up like a rocket. And people do want to live there. They've moved there. So I think that would be the best case scenario as to property. If he's trying to sell quickly, I would encourage that.
So, all right. Now, that's 240 million estimated. I mean, who knows? You know, he's a desperate seller. In this case, someone picks up the phone and makes that call this week. So I don't know what it'd be. That's still half.
Right.
It's wild, right? Considering what this whole case is about and how CNN has covered it, for them to air that as if it's like they didn't just spend however much time gaslighting their audience into, you know, the whole $18 million bullshit. It's insane.
Well,
Absolutely.
They know that the people aren't going to go into the minutia. They're not going to get the details the way that we do every day, because we go through this every day. We know what they're saying almost word for word. We also can retain it because we're doing it every day. But the average person, and especially with people, anybody that watches CNN or MSNBC, they could tell them something, and I've mentioned this before. In the same sentence, they could contradict themselves, and the person that's watching it would nod along. Because they trust
the Democrat Party relies on low information voters. CNN relies on low information audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People that are led around by their emotions rather than any kind of common sense or logic, for sure.
I also think it's wild that they actually want Trump to sell his house over this crap. Like, give me a flipping break. They're obviously just trying to break him down financially and even mentally. Like, can you imagine what he's going through? He's being forced to pay $500 million for the right to appeal a ridiculous bullshit judgment that was made against him by an obviously politically corrupt and motivated judge. I mean, this whole thing is just egregious in so many ways and unprecedented. And the fact that they're actually floating the idea of Donald Trump selling his beloved home that he's had since, you know, when did Trump buy Mar-a-Lago? It's been a long while, hasn't it? They want him to sell his home to comply with this bullshit.
Yeah. I don't. They want to embarrass him. They're trying to force him into a situation where they can seize his assets and take a victory lap over him. You know, embarrass him, make him look like a loser, make him look like, you know, they can run with these things that he's not as rich as he claims he is, not as successful as he claims he is. Like they're trying so hard to paint him in a negative light any which way that they can, that they'll contradict themselves like this on a turn of a dime, no problem, because it doesn't matter. Like you said, and like Kenyatta said, the people that are watching this stuff and taking it seriously, they don't care if it makes sense or not. All they care is the orange man bad? This is bad for Trump, so we'll go along with it because it fits that hatred and confirmation bias.
Yep. You know what I think he should do if he gets the $500 million? He should pay it in pennies. He should get it all converted to pennies and just haul it in with freaking dump trucks and dump it right in front of freaking Judge Gorin's ridiculous courtroom. That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be amazing. Absolutely. All right, let's take care of our sponsors and then we'll jump in. There's a bunch of stuff to get into today. Our first sponsor of the day is, of course, Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Earth Garden Botanicals and Jolene. She's fantastic. She makes these wellness products up in Montana. The newest one is the white pine needle extract. It's a concentrated version of The sunshine and pine needle tea, really good for detoxing the body, great to have in the medicine cabinet. The CBD and hemp products are all fantastic as well. All of the CBD ingredients are locally and organically grown on small Montana farms. The CBD oil tinctures taste amazing. Flavors like orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, cherry, peppermint. Even the unflavored is really, really good. You really can't go wrong. There's CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies to help you get a good night's sleep. Check out the Arnica salve. It's a topical cream with CBD infused or without, depending on your preference. And then when we get past the CBD products, you have things like elderberry tonic, great for boosting your immune system if you feel a cold coming on. Allergies got you all stuffed up, can't breathe through your nose. Clear your sinuses with the fire cider, incredibly effective. I mentioned the teas like the sunshine and pine needle tea. There's a few other ones to choose from, so check them out, all you tea drinkers out there. And of course, the Happy Trails critter juice, keeping the mosquitoes and insects away. This stuff is effective. It smells good. It doesn't feel oily and gross on your skin. Again, most importantly, it works. Pixels can attest to this. I spray this stuff all over me whenever I come up to his place and hang out there in the summer, because he has tons of mosquitoes up there, and this stuff is the only stuff that has kept them away from me. So I absolutely swear by the.
I always like it when Adel's here because I don't get bit.
Yeah, exactly, because they bite me instead. But not when I'm wearing my critter juice. So go check out all these amazing products at earthgardenbotanicals.com. Use promo code 412 for 10% off your order. Our other sponsor today is Diamond Soap Co. DiamondSoapCo.com, another fantastic America First company. These guys really live up to the America First label as well as anybody. It's a family and veteran owned and operated business. Harold and Laura have been married over 33 years. They're Air Force Intel vets, and they make all their products, the soaps and the body butters, handmade here in the U.S. using organic, all-natural ingredients. So top-notch people selling a high-quality product made and manufactured right here in the United States. They smell amazing, whether you have the Kentucky Bourbon or the Bonfire, which are my favorites, something a little bit more bright and refreshing like the Green Tea Cucumber, or the Classic Clean. Check out the Lemongrass, Frankincense, and Myrrh. Shout out to Lance Lightspear for inspiring that one. You got Sweet Almond, Cedar Amber. Another one of my favorites, the Island Escape, which is very tropical. Feels like the best way I could describe it is like being on the beach, that beach breeze combined with a pina colada. I don't know how else I could say it. There's floral scents too. If you go and check it out, they have things like violet, rose, plumeria, lavender. So there's something for everybody here. Get yourself a t-shirt. They got men and women's t-shirts and hoodies. So just go load up a cart, load up a gift basket, buy some for your friends and family. It makes great gifts. Everyone loves some high quality soap in their life. Promo code 412 gets you 17% off. So stop buying soap from Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson. Stop getting it from Rite Aid and Walmart, Sam's Club, any of these big corporations. Vote with your dollar and support an America First mom and pop operation like Diamond Soap Co. DiamondSoapCo.com. Again, promo code 412 for 17% off your order. And those are today's amazing sponsors. So thank you guys so much for supporting the sponsors and the show. Again, if you're watching on pill.net and you haven't hit the red pill button already, please take a second and go hit that red pill button for me. Also, that circular symbol, please repost the show as well. That's right underneath the red and blue pills. Bonus points. Grab the link and send it out, share it out, give it to anyone you think might enjoy what we're doing here. I want to start with this video by Mike Benz. This was brought to my attention by Drunk Pinata about this whistleblower revealing a CIA stonewalled the interview with Hunter Biden business associate. Pinata, since you were the one to send this to me, do you want to set this up, or is there anything you want to say before I play the video?
No.
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it makes sense as far as how far back this goes, especially considering all of the entanglements, the why Ukraine was such a hot button issue, why they freaked out over the phone call, why they freaked out over Giuliani, and then how they got Lev Parnas essentially to flip. It explains a lot. I'm not sure, again, I don't know if this guy's what his credentials are, or whatever. I'm just saying, as far as what was going on over there, it's very clearly that the State Department, all these different entities were working together in an effort to do something with these markets. They had, they even had, as far as other like Kerry's son, the Pelosi's son, other people involved in this that would have to know, based on their positioning and the intel that they would receive, what they were trying to do. And this the whole thing about energy even goes back to Uranium One and Clinton and all. I mean, so it's very clear, this whole energy and getting even, you can tie it to the Green New Deal, you can tie it to all the kind of stuff that they want to do with climate change. It is the driving force behind so much economically, with prices and fuel prices and control of that market, that the shaming for fossil fuels wasn't working. So they had to figure out a different way to shift energy markets. And this is just another piece of it. So I guess we'll find out in time.
Yeah. Good stuff. Let's take a listen to the video. We'll be back in 5-6 minutes.
I just had to break this down in video to make it perfectly plain and clear to people what's happening with Hunter Biden and the CIA. Why was I saying a year and a half ago that the reason Hunter Biden is untouchable by the Justice Department is because he was part of a CIA operation, multiple ones actually? You have to understand what's going on here. Okay, so let me just give you a dozen data points on Hunter Biden CIA. So the first thing is Hunter was on the chairman's advisory board of the National Democratic Institute, the NDI. Okay, the NDI is the DNC wing of the National Endowment for Democracy, which is the top CIA cutout used in our tens of thousands of NGO swarms. NED ranks #1. It was created to be a NGO affiliate of the CIA. It was created to do overtly what the CIA was doing covertly and getting in trouble for doing in the 20th century, created under the Reagan administration in 1983. And there's something called the NDI for Democrats and the IRI for Republicans, the CIA wing of the Republican Party. And they both split spoils, basically on U.S. foreign policy jobs that the CIA orchestrates. You don't get to be part of the chairman's advisory committee of the NDI unless you are CIA linked or CIA vetted. It is a CIA. It's a Gongo, except it's a Congo, if you will. NGOs, government organized, non-governmental organizations. This is a CIA organized non-Conco, a CIA organized non-CIA organization. Okay, it's the CIA. Okay, and he's on the chairman's advisory board of that. And oh, by the way, when he was at Burisma, who was the other person on the Burisma board from the U.S. there was Cofer Black, who had spent 30 years in the CIA. Cofer Black was Mitt Romney's Sherpa to the intelligence community during his presidential run in 2012. And you know what? Mitt Romney's on the board of the IRI, who I just mentioned, the International Republican Institute, the CIA cutout counterpart to the NDI. Okay, Burisma was a CIA operation. Okay, let me say this again. Burisma was a CIA operation. Okay, so was Naftagaz. That's the public, and then respectively the private and public natural gas companies there. There were a couple other private ones in addition to Burisma. But the CIA was trying to break down Gazprom and swing the gas market from Russia to NATO. Okay? They've been trying to do this for 16 friggin' years. It's been an in-process CIA, State Department, Pentagon project for 16 friggin' years. Okay? They were trying to capacity build Burisma and shift its board to make it U.S. controlled. They're doing the same thing simultaneously with Naftagaz, the feeder that Burisma feeds into. You can even read about the power struggle between George Soros and Vladimir Putin for control over Naftagaz, the state-owned titan that has been the privatization prize of the IMF. That was part of the reason that we overthrew the Ukrainian government in 2014, is to privatize those assets, because we knew that we were going to be cutting Russia off. So the Western stakeholders wanted to profit from this $1 trillion windfall if Russia could be kicked out of the European energy market. This is common activity for the Central Intelligence Agency, which was created by corporate lawyers in 1947 as its first class, okay? The corporate espionage side of the CIA operation here has geopolitical dimensions. If you kill Russia's energy exports, you kill their military, which means you kill their ability to run air defense systems to Syria. You kill their ability to run small arms to sub-Saharan Africa to oppose, U.S. control over lithium and cobalt and copper and aluminum and gold and oil and gas there too. This was a long-range CIA project where Hunter Biden happened to be ass deep in exactly the number one geopolitical target of what the CIA was doing under the Obama administration, which is trying to kill Russia's energy exports. So meanwhile, you had this endogenous Ukrainian gas company that Hunter's on the board of. And by the way, who's Hunter's dad at the time? It's Joe Biden, the vice president in charge of the Ukraine portfolio. But Joe Biden spent 30 years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, 10 years rotating between chairman and ranking member. That is the coordinating wing of the Senate with the State Department and the CIA, okay? Specifically Central and Eastern Europe. Joe Biden was hugely involved in the Yugoslavia operation in the late 1990s and breaking that up, which again was a CIA job, okay? That's why you have to understand the structure of the blob. Whenever you see the State Department, the CIA is there and the Pentagon are there, and you just don't see it yet. Whenever you see the CIA, the State Department, and the Pentagon there, you just don't see it yet, okay? It was like, and even British intelligence is all over this LNG story. And you don't get British intelligence without U.S. intelligence. The fact is they need the CIA will lean on the Justice Department. I just did 6 hours of subscriber streams about the relationship between CIA and DOJ, and that the CIA will lean on DOJ to kill investigations into criminal activity involving assets of the CIA so that they can continue to do work that's in the U.S. national interest, even if it's a criminal enterprise, because the CIA has a license to do that. They have the license to crime under NSC 10-2. The license to do criminal activity, as long as it's plausibly deniable. And Hunter Biden was a part of a plausibly deniable CIA operation to swing the gas market towards NATO. Okay, that's why it's untouchable.
Wow. It always seems to come back to the CIA, doesn't it? With all this stuff, it always seems to circle back to the CIA. So there you have it.
Well, think back to what you had Bush's. I'm not sure what Clinton's affiliation with the CIA would be. Bill Clinton, but you had Bush 1, then you had Clinton, then you had Bush 2, obviously because of the sheriffs and the CIA and the World War II history there. You have another CIA person, Obama. His mother, through her, was a CIA person.
This
and
is to
then
break
now
this
we're
down.
kind of learning that Obama, or I'm sorry, that Biden, I guess, was through his Senate connections, was kind of CIA. So it makes sense.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
What's confusing to me about this whole thing is, like, I don't doubt that this is what's going on, but I don't understand why they're choosing to go the Ukraine route in trying to compete with Russia over energy. We have, as Trump says, an insane amount of energy right under our feet that we could be taking advantage of. We could be growing U.S. companies and at the same time not starting foreign wars. And we could have, just by sheer competition, beat Russia down in the way that they were looking to do, in my opinion. But they chose to go the other route and start another foreign war. It's just disgusting to me that they always choose the most destructive way to reach their ends. Like, why is that?
That's a good question. Probably because these people are evil, and many of them are, I think, driven by dark forces, and any opportunity for a war, or the way I look at war, is just like a massive human sacrifice ritual. They take it, a lot of negative energy, a lot of loosh, a lot of food comes from war, if you will, a lot of energy and food for these evil forces comes from the strife and pain of war. So if the options are peaceful economic destruction of Russia, or one that is going to involve the sacrifice of a few 100,000 people, I think they're always going to choose the latter, because these people are absolute sadists and disgusting human beings. So That's my answer. I don't know if there's a more practical answer, but if you want my take on it, it's just because these people love causing pain and strife, and destruction. They're all about destroying things. Let's see. There's an article about this in the Epoch Times. Let's see what they wrote about here as well. I think this is on the same topic. I haven't had a chance to read this yet. But it says whistleblower says CIA interfered in Hunter Biden investigation. So whistleblower has accused the CIA of impeding the tax fraud investigation into President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, by intervening to block an interview of a witness by other federal agencies. The CIA allegedly meddled in the investigation into Mr. Biden in August 2021 by preventing the Department of Justice and the Internal Revenue Service from interviewing Kevin Morris, an associate of Mr. Biden's, according to the unidentified whistleblower per House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. The lawmaker made the allegation in a March 21st letter to CIA Director William Burns, in which they request records of related communications in an effort to clarify the matter, which comes as their committees assist with the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Quote, as part of the impeachment inquiry, the committees are investigating, among other things, whether President Biden's abused his power as president to impede, obstruct, or otherwise hinder investigations or the prosecution of Hunter Biden, the lawmakers wrote in the letter, quoting from the impeachment inquiry memorandum. A CIA spokesperson told the Epoch Times in an emailed statement that the agency would not comment on specific investigations, but that as a matter of principle, it doesn't interfere in investigations. Quote, we could say that the CIA cooperates with law enforcement partners and does not obstruct investigations, a spokesperson said. CIA also fully and routinely cooperates with our oversight committees and will continue to do so. Following a 5-year probe, Mr. Biden was indicted on December 2023 on 9 tax-related charges, 3 felony, 6 misdemeanor tax offenses for failing to pay roughly $1.4 million in taxes between 2016 and 2019. Gets into a lot of background here. Now another whistleblower has come forward, this time alleging that the CIA intervened in the investigation to prevent the DOJ and IRS from interviewing Mr. Morris, a Hollywood lawyer and Mr. Biden's benefactor. Quote, it's unknown why or on what basis the CIA allegedly intervened to prevent investigators from interviewing Mr. Morris, Mr. Jordan, and Mr. Comer wrote in the letter to the CIA chief. However, these allegations track with other evidence showing how the DOJ deviated from its standard investigative practices during the investigation of Hunter Biden. They wrote, while demanding that the CIA provide documents and information that could shed light on the whistleblower's allegations. Mr. Morris has often been described in media reports as Mr. Biden's sugar brother because he paid around $5 million for his housing, media relations, accounting, and legal fees and overdue tax expenses, and bought around $875,000 worth of artwork produced by the president's son. As part of the impeachment inquiry into President Biden, the 2 committees have been investigating whether the president abused his power to impede investigations or the prosecution of his son. The 2 committees have documented various ways in which they allege the DOJ officials have deviated from the normal investigative process and provided preferential treatment to Mr. Biden, including by crafting a plea deal that they say was so biased that it fell apart in open court. Quote, while a federal judge rejected the department's attempt to push through a sweetheart plea deal and quietly end the 5-year investigation of Hunter Biden, Attorney General Garland appointed Weiss as special counsel and refused to answer questions about the case on the basis of the existence of an ongoing investigation, reads a 78 report by the 2 committees. Using the ongoing investigation as a veil to shield its misconduct, the Biden Justice Department unilaterally limited the scope of witness testimony and document productions to Congress, severely curtailing the committee's ability to gather information. It adds, another way the DOJ officials allegedly stymied the investigation was by restricting what investigative steps investigators could pursue, tipping off Mr. Biden's attorneys and preventing witness interviews. Quote, the information we recently received from the whistleblower seems to corroborate our concerns about DOJ's deviations from standard process to provide Hunter Biden with preferential treatment, the 2 committee chairs wrote in the March 21st letter to the CIA chief. The whistleblower told Mr. Comer and Mr. Jordan that in August 2021, when IRS investigators were preparing to interview Mr. Morris, the CIA intervened to block the interview. Quote, 2 DOJ officials were allegedly summoned to CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia for a briefing regarding Mr. Morris. At that meeting, it was communicated that Mr. Morris could not be a witness during the investigation, the letter states. Noting that it remains unclear why the CIA allegedly intervened to block the witness interview, the 2 committee chairs have requested all documents and communications from the agency in regard to DOJ and IRS investigations into Mr. Biden. They've also requested all records relating to Mr. Morris, including but not limited to efforts to interview him as part of the probe. I'll leave that there. It goes into a bit more background, but so maybe I should have read this first and then played the guy's video, which was, I think, a pretty good explanation as to why this might have happened. But there you have it. The CIA working to obstruct justice, essentially, because, you know, it's in America's best interest that all this crap is allowed to happen behind the scenes. So they're allowed to break the law with impunity, obstruct justice, interfere in investigations. Always comes back to the CIA. So there you go. Any other thoughts on that topic? That's all I have on it right now. But
well, just based on that, I can make a guess that this Morris individual is probably like a clandestine CIA assigned handler for Hunter.
Very possibly, yeah. Very, very possibly. Would not surprise me at all if that were the case. All right, very good. So we'll see if the CIA produces those documents. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm sure that'll take months to produce. By the time we actually get into this information, the election's going to be so far gone and past. Like we'll be into a Trump administration before any of this shit happens. So
they're going to say that the CIA headquarters dog like chewed up the documents and they just can't give them up. They'll come up with some kind of stupid excuse.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let me see if I want to go into this or do I want to save this for the second half. Let me get rid of this. Sorry, guys. Let's take a look at this right here. I showed this on yesterday's show. This is crazy. Do you guys see this video?
I did see this. Covered this on my show last night. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, check out this video of the southern border being controlled. This is wild. These soldiers need to be allowed to open fire. That's all I'm going to say. It's absolutely absurd that they can't use the weapons they're given to protect themselves and this country. This is obscene. I mean, how is this not considered an invasion? It's 100%.
Did you know the White House responded to that video today? Do you know what they said? And I shit you not, this is not even a joke. It's Trump's fault.
That's Trump's fault.
Yep.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everything's Trump's fault, I guess, but that's crazy. And then here I have this is kind of related. Clip of CNN talking about Trump absolutely destroying Biden on the issue of border security. So that's not working. Whatever they're saying is not working. Take a look.
in a way that they simply put never have before.
And who does get more credit for the job they would do on immigration?
Yeah, so, you know, obviously we have a presidential race coming up, and this has obviously become a political hot football, right? And this is one of the trend lines that I think really tells the story that's the difference between this election and the 2020 election. So if you ask voters, who do you think would do a better job handling border security and immigration, what do we see? We see that back in 2020, it was basically a dead even split, right? Joe Biden was slightly favored on it, but not overwhelmingly. And of course, he slightly won the election, not overwhelmingly so. Look at where we are today in a Marquette University Law School poll that was put out last month. Look at that advantage that Joe Biden has that Donald Trump has on immigration and border security. It's near 30 points. This is a tremendous change that's going on. And it's no wonder that Donald Trump is running on immigration. And he's not just running on it in a Republican primary. He's running on in the general election. And I also think that's why there hasn't been quite the backlash that you might expect over Trump's comments, some of which that I, of course, wouldn't make. And it's because that voters at this particular point are quite concerned about immigration, and they trust Donald Trump on this particular issue.
And President Biden has been courting Latino voters in the Southwest. Where does he stand?
Yeah, so, you know, you might think, you know, that Hispanic voters might be the types of folks who would have a backlash.
Wrong I word. It's not immigration. It's invasion. That's what we're worried about. They're using the wrong I word.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. To call it immigration is an absolute disgrace.
Against Donald Trump's remarks, right? Ain't the case. If you ask Hispanic voters, who do they trust more on border security and immigration? Overwhelmingly, they trust Donald Trump more by a tremendous margin. Look at that, 49% to 24%. And that is in line with what we're seeing in the polls in general amongst Hispanics, right? Joe Biden won them overwhelmingly back in 2020, won them by over 20 percentage points. Democrats normally carry them overwhelmingly. If you look at the polling right now, and an average of polling amongst Hispanic voters, who do they choose in the ballot test? It's barely Biden by about 2 points. It would be the smallest margin for any Democratic candidate among Hispanic voters basically throughout history since we started polling the gosh darn thing. So the fact is, at this point, there's no backlash, and at this point, I don't see one coming.
Gosh darn, Harry Enton, thank you very much.
You know, sometimes.
Coming up.
So there you go. He's going to lose the Latino vote, the Hispanic vote this time around, because this is only going to get worse. That's Joe Biden. So they're going to lose the Democrats, the Hispanic vote. They're going to lose a significant portion of the black vote. I mean, Republicans won't win the black vote, not this time around, but they'll do at least probably 10 points better than they normally do with the black vote. And then you have this Palestine-Israel issue that is going to play huge in your state, Pixels, up in Michigan, because of the Dearborn area and the massive Muslim population in Michigan. There's also a massive Muslim population in Minnesota as well. And if Joe Biden continues to stumble and fumble around with that whole issue, they're going to lose a lot of that vote too. So they're alienating a lot of the vote demographic that they used to be able to count on big time. Very precarious situation for the left right now in a lot of areas, but you know, the immigration issue is really, really hurting them. And like you said, they're continuing to try to blame Donald Trump. It's not working. You can see it in the polling, even the CNN polling. Trump is winning on the issue massively.
Yep, and you can, you know, when you look at the polls, all the numbers coming in, it becomes so clear why the Democrats are doing what they're doing, both with their Democratic primary process, which has been a complete joke. They're just basically trying to shoehorn Biden in there for some reason. And I think that's pretty misguided. You'd think that they, you know, with how unpopular he is, they'd want to push somebody else, but it seems that they're kind of stuck on that Biden train. And then in addition to that, you know, in addition to trying to make sure that Biden's the only choice on the Democrat side, so they can avoid the vote being split, which would be disastrous for Biden. They're also going after President Trump with all these, you know, all this ridiculous lawfare bullshit. And when you see numbers like that coming out, it becomes very clear why. This is all political, 100%. They are shitting their pants because they know what's coming in November.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Do you think, Pixels, what's your take on this? We haven't talked in a while. is it going to be Joe Biden as the nominee come November, or do you think that he'll be able to make it till November, or do you expect a change of batter between now and then? What's your gut telling you at this point in time?
I honestly think it will be Joe Biden. I honestly don't think they have enough time to mount an effective campaign for somebody else. And I
Right.
think that there's a certain aspect where Joe Biden is just kind of refusing to bow out. I think maybe they were trying to convince him to do so months ago, but it's kind of like that train that boat has sailed, right? So I think it is going to be Biden, and I think that Trump is going to crush him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Biden too. I think it's going to be Biden too. Most of our audience agrees with TN Homesteader, who can't be here today or couldn't be here today, that there's going to be a change of batter. But I think that the beauty of this plan and everything we're going through right now was meant to manipulate the situation to make sure it's Joe Biden, someone as hapless and easy to destroy as Joe Biden, who's senile and corrupt and has a long history of being a hypocrite and just, so many times he's put his foot in his mouth, said racist things. You could really go at Joe Biden from a number of different angles if you're talking about a presidential campaign. And now with them losing massive amounts of Hispanic, Black, and Middle Eastern voters, man, they have a tall uphill battle. And we're only in late March here.
Yep. I actually have a theory
Go ahead.
that maybe back in 2020, the White Hats saw the cheat coming for the election.
Mhm.
And I honestly, I'm wondering if they sat down and had a conversation with these people and said, all right, you want to cheat? You want to install an illegitimate president and start destroying the country? Go ahead, but you've got to nominate him next time. Like, you're locked into this.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a conversation, but I do think that there was a need to show the direct A/B comparison of Donald Trump and then an establishment person like Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden is such a perfect representation of everything we're fighting against, isn't he?
Perfect. Yeah.
He's a career politician. He's been in Washington, D.C. over 40 years. He's bought and paid for by foreign adversaries. He's got his family involved in selling influence. He's creepy and pedo-ish. If you look at like the Ashley Biden diary and the many clips of him sniffing inappropriately, engaging with, I'll just say that word, use it loosely, with underage girls throughout his career. He's not all there anymore. Like, he's falling apart. He's just kind of the perfect manifestation of everything wrong with our political elite and the political establishment in this country. If you were to put all of it into one man, I think Joe Biden is like that perfect representation. So you take Donald Trump, you have him make things good for 4 years, and then you expose massive amounts of voter fraud and cheating and really highlight so many different things, allow Joe Biden to come in, be that representation of the political elite and the deep state and all those things for 4 years, allow people to get that direct comparison, while Donald Trump stays not in the background, but stays in the forefront, commenting on it, breaking it down, trolling, building up a comeback, a resurgence, and then you get the rematch. I think it's beautifully written out if that's the plan. We'll see if it ends up being Biden, but again, I think he's just the perfect one-man representation of everything wrong with this country. So it would make sense to me if this is a movie, that he would be the bad guy at the end that you defeat.
So I will say that throughout this time with Biden as the potatoes, it's woke up more people than we as a movement could ever dream to wake up.
Yeah.
There's a very large portion of the population that we simply could not reach. And I think that if this has been a movie, it's been for them. It hasn't been for us. We already know what side of things that we're on, but I think it's been for the fence sitters out there, and the people that were afflicted with TDS and just blinded by their hatred of the man. Definitely, I think a lot of those people have woken up and kind of figured out what really matters, right? They're learning how much more important border security, economic policy, foreign policy, things like that are, instead of clutching your pearls every day over a Twitter post, right? I think that there's definitely been kind of a realigning with people and figuring out what should we really care about, right? Like what are the things that actually affect us day in and day out? And it's definitely been a time of learning for a lot of people in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well said. Very, very well said. All right, we're at 4:55 or almost at 4:55. This is where we go exclusively to pill.net, the home of free speech, the only place to watch hour number 2 of this show. If you're watching on Rumble, just go to the description down below the stream. You'll see the link there. All you got to do is click on it. It'll bring you right on into the stream. It's very, very easy to get to. I'm also putting the link in the live chat for you guys on DLive and in Rumble to make it very, very easy to jump on over and hang out with us for hour number 2, where I want to talk about this total betrayal, this Senate bill and the fallout, or not the Senate bill, this House spending bill, total joke. So we got to get into that, call some people out for the spineless behavior we've seen in the House of Representatives. And yeah, we're going to cover all of that and a lot of other stuff in the second half. But first, got a little video to play. We'll come back on the other side, and we will officially say goodbye to our other platforms. So jump on over to pilled.net, the home of free speech. Just go to pilled.net in your browser. You'll see all the live channels at the top of the screen on mobile or on the left-hand side if you're on desktop. We are that black and gold thumbnail, 412 Productions. I hope to see you guys over there. We'll be right back.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pill.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@Pill.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pill.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys, everyone who jumped over to pilled.net for the second half. I really appreciate all of you who do that. Those of you who are not going to be jumping over to pilled.net, no worries. We'll be back tomorrow morning, or I will anyway, for the Saturday morning chat at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be taking your calls and playing music to kick off the weekend. So I hope to see you guys in the morning. And again, we do have one more hour here on today's show, available exclusively on pill.net, the home of free speech. The link is in the Rumble description. I also put it in the live chat for you guys, so please go and check it out. Otherwise, if not, we'll catch you guys on the next one. So have a great weekend, everybody, on those other platforms, and get on over to pill.net for the second half.